And welcome back to Broader Financial Future. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful day. In today's video, welcome to Index Funds Wednesday, where I go over index funds, ETFs, specifically on today's video. And today, I'm going to talk about Charles Schwab index funds for 2022. So, before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping rules. Make sure you smash that like button. It really helps out the channel, so they say, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And enough of the sales pitch. Let's just jump on into today's video. So the first company we're going to talk about from Charles Schwab is ticker SFNNX. That is a mouthful. Schwab Fundamental International Large Company Index. Now, what is FXNNX besides a very long name? Basically, you're getting access to the largest international companies around the world. So more so outside of the US. So that's the funds overall primarily go when you're getting this particular fund. And that's one of the reasons why I have it on this list, because you want a little bit of diversification, right? So SFNNX inception is started in 2007. Life of the fund is up 3.3%, which is kind of low. But I do like to have a little bit of my portfolio in an international fund, not my primary source, but that's a dab. The life of the fund, like I said, is 3.3%, and it has an expense ratio of 0.25%. Now, there's no minimum to get into this particular fund. In addition, when you're buying into this particular fund, you're getting access to 949 companies. In the top 10 companies in this list, you're going to see companies like Shell, Toyota, Honda, BP, Samsung, Nestle, and more. So those are the top 10 companies in this particular index fund. So let's break down the performance from 2018 to 2021. As you can see, in 2018, it was down 13%. 2019 was a lot better. It went up to 18%. And in 2021, it's up for about 14%. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have ticker SWLGX, and that will be Schwab US Large Cap Growth Index Fund. Now, what is SWLGX? Now, this particular index fund, the goal is to track the performance of large cap US growth stocks. So that's what this particular index fund is targeting. Now, a couple of key things here. There is no minimum to start investing into this particular fund. Basically, you get in with like $1 or $5. This is a relatively new index fund starting in 2017. The life of the fund is a lot better at 23%. It has an expense ratio of 0.025%. Definitely like that a lot better than the previous one. All right, with this particular company, you're going to have access to about 508 companies, primarily in the US. Let's look at the top 10 holdings, right? So if you don't want to buy Apple by itself, Microsoft by itself, Amazon by itself, you're going to get all of that with this index fund. So instead of hunting for Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, formerly Facebook, Google, Alphabet, Tesla, and you got a little bit of Visa and more, you can just get this particular fund and have it do all that stuff for you. So let's look at some of the performance here. If we look at this fund in the last couple of years, it's up in 2021 by 27%, about 2020, 38%, in 2019, 36%. And if you look at 2018, it looked like 2018 was kind of like a soft year for a lot of indexes. So here is minus 1.56. All right, next on my list is a favorite of mine, and that is Schwab S&P 500 Index Fund, ticker SWPPX. Now, what is this exactly? This is one of my favorites in all forms. You can get this from Fidelity under a different name, ETFs, it doesn't matter. It's basically the gold standard. You just follow the wave of basically the top 500 US companies in the S&P. So that's basically what this particular fund encompass. So let's break down a couple of key things here. This fund been around since 1997. The life of the fund is up 9% and has a low expense ratio of 0.02. All right. In addition, you'll have access to about 508 companies, primarily in the U.S. or all in the U.S. I should say, pretty much. And you look at the top 10 holdings, very similar as our last index fund. You still have Apple at the top, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Tesla, NVIDIA, Johnson Johnson, Berkshire, Hathaway. There is a little deviance towards the bottom and also the percentage of the holdings. This one has a lower allocation of Apple and Microsoft, even though it's still in the top 10. And you don't see Visa in the top 10 or Home Depot here. So you're going to really look at the allocation and as far as like what percentage you're actually allocating to these particular companies. So that's one of the main difference when you look at both of these funds. All right. So when you look at the performance here, if you look at 2021, it's up 28%. 2020, about 18%. And you go back to 2018, it's down about 4.42%. So like I said, 2018 was definitely one of those years that was kind of rough. Surprisingly, 2020 wasn't as rough. You would expect 2020 to be one of the rougher years, but it definitely was a unique year when it comes to investing in stocks. All right, folks, I do own SWPPX. Let me know, what are your favorite Charles Schwab index funds? Do you own any of these particular index funds? And this video is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor or a psychic. Any investment may involve risk, so it's always important that you do your own homework. But that's pretty much all I got for everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like always, be safe. Peace.